right, so the IMF boss just dropped a bombshell. Fiat's going digital, folks. And central banks, yeah, they're gonna have to play ball with digital assets whether they like it or not. But here's the juicy part. What's really going on between the IMF, world leaders, and XRP? There's definitely something brewing there. Oh, and wait till you hear this. Japan just made some moves that are literally rolling out the red carpet for Ripple and Circle. We're talking about XRP getting into the hands of way more customers. I'm gonna walk you through why this is actually a big deal. Plus, I've loaded up on Ripple and XRP news today, so buckle up. Let's just jump straight into this clip and unpack what's happening here.
But generally, you tell them to embrace it?
I'm telling countries, accept reality. Fiat money is moving digital. The developments in crypto, both unbacked and backed, they're happening with exponential speed. So yeah, you can try to lock your country away from this. Good luck with it. So yes, I'm telling my members, understand it and then decide for yourself how you're going to operate in this world. But do not close your eyes to reality.
Look, you can't ignore what's happening right in front of us. We all know this is where things are headed. And here's the thing, they're not even being subtle about it anymore. It's all out in the open now. So you've got two choices here. You can either sit on the sidelines and watch everyone else move forward, or you can actually learn this technology and use it. That's it. Those are your options. This isn't a maybe situation. This isn't a we'll see what happens kind of deal. Tokenization is the path forward, period. All right, let me show you this clip.
Today, digital, let's call it crypto for simplicity, is to high degree used for investment purpose. Like Bitcoin is an investment opportunity first and foremost. There is a little bit of use for payment, but that's not the main purpose. Are we going to move to a world in which stablecoins would be a big part of the payment, cross-border payments? And if we go in this world, what does it mean for the international monetary system? What does it mean for our members?
Hey, quick reminder, nothing I say here is financial advice. This is just for entertainment. I'm not a financial advisor, so if you need actual financial guidance, please talk to a professional who can help you out. Okay, check this out. Ripple's connections and collaborations with the IMF have grown notably in recent years, centering on regulatory advisory roles, joint public research, and alignment on cross-border payment modernization. While Ripple and XRP have not officially adopted as IMF reserve asset, the institutional engagement is substantial and has been highlighted through multiple documented initiatives and reports released by the IMF. Ripple was selected to serve on the IMF's high-level advisory group on fintech, right? They literally got an invitation from the IMF to sit on their board. Can you believe that? Granting it a consultative role and recognition of expertise in financial technology. This group includes regulators and industry leaders providing guidance and shape global fintech frameworks, although actual policy decisions remain at the IMF. IMF reports mentioned XRP. The IMF has referenced Ripple and XRP in formal policy research, such as the 2023 report Trust Bridges and Money Flows, a digital marketplace to improve cross-border payments. In this model, Ripple and XRP is discussed as a possible private settlement asset supporting global interoperability and efficiency in cross-border transactions. The report outlines potential advantages in regulated platforms like Ripple in constructing a multi-currency marketplace for tokenized money flows. Direct technical collaborations. Ripple's collaboration with the government of Palau and the involvement of the IMF technical assistance team stand out as real-time technical engagement. The IMF team was part of the stakeholder consultation for Palau's national digital payment system, which leverages XRP Ledger for stablecoin issuance. This evidence demonstrates practical technical contract and alignment with Ripple's objectives and the IMF recommend financial modernization strategies. So here's the deal. Everyone keeps saying Ripple and XRP are irrelevant, but I'm going to tell you something different. They're exactly where this whole thing is headed. Ripple's been building this tech for years, and guess what? Central banks are finally owning up to it. They're actually saying out loud, we're using this stuff. Digital assets, stable coins, central bank digital currencies, They're not hiding it anymore. This is the future, according to them. For years, we got nothing but denial. That's not happening. That's not real. And now, complete 180. They're just telling you straight up. So are you paying attention? Will people actually listen this time? Your guess is as good as mine. Ripple previously collaborated with World Bank, which represents 189 nations, to advance the modernization of global payment clearing and settlement infrastructure. Okay, here we go. XRP and the Bank of France. We've covered these connections before, so I won't beat it to death. But think about this. France carries a lot of weight in the European Union. The EU's got a decision coming up about their central bank digital currency. So naturally, you start thinking, what if it's Ripple and XRP behind this whole thing? Time will tell. The Bank of Japan has granted covert regulatory approval to major financial institutions to offer products from Ripple and Circle to their customers. The timing and specific products to be offered are left to the discretion of each financial institution. So what are we looking at here? Regulatory approval from the Bank of Japan clears a major hurdle for Japanese banks and payment providers to use Ripple solutions, including XRP, for cross-border transactions, settlements, and potentially other financial products. Japan already leads globally in institutional adoption of Ripple tech. So you've probably heard people throwing around this claim that 80% of banks are going to use XRP, right? Here's the thing though, what I actually think is happening is that 80% of banks have the option to use it. They can use it if they want to, but are they actually going to? That's the real question. And honestly, we're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out. These approvals further reinforce XRP's position as a core financial technology within Japan, not just a tradable cryptocurrency, but part of a national infrastructure for payments and settlements. You caught what Kristina Georgieva said about Bitcoin being an investment, right? Now here's where XRP is totally different. We're not talking about an investment here, we're talking about actual infrastructure. This isn't one of those things where everyone's just speculating like, oh, is the price gonna pump? Is it gonna dump? Number. XRP has real utility behind it. And when I say it can unlock tremendous value, I mean for everyone. Countries, financial institutions, the whole financial market infrastructure. We're talking tokenization, lending, borrowing, stocks, bonds, debt, real estate, literally everything across the board. Plus, we keep hearing more and more about Ripple expanding their products, so clearly something's happening there. Ripple and SBI will launch RLUSD, a dollar-backed stablecoin distributed through Japan's licensed payment institutions beginning early 2026. This will expand Ripple's suite of products and increase the reliability and convenience of digital assets for Japanese institutions and their clients. The partnership between Ripple and SBI and regulatory advancement suggests stronger institutional-grade adoption, including stablecoins, custody solutions, and cross-border payment systems leveraging XRP as a bridging asset. All right, I mean, I don't even know what else to show you guys anymore, but okay, look at this. Ripple just got a new partnership. And listen, this isn't some little thing. We're talking about a $119 billion partnership in Africa. Like, let me pull this up so you can see it. And you know what? You gotta love how these things always start out. Ripple, the leading provider of digital asset infrastructure for financial institutions, today announced a strategic partnership with APSA Bank to provide digital asset custody to the bank's customers in South Africa. Through the partnership, APSA will leverage Ripple's institutional-grade digital asset custody technology to deliver scalable and secure storage for tokenized assets, including cryptocurrencies. APSA, one of Africa's leading financial institutions, becomes Ripple's first major custody partner in Africa. This partnership is a result of growing demand for a secure and compliant digital asset infrastructure across emerging markets. Ripple's expanding global custody network now includes clients across Europe, the Middle East, Asia Pacific, Latin America, and Africa, supporting financial institutions as they embrace the opportunities presented by digital asset technologies. So Monica Long came out and said, last month we announced RLUSD live on the African continent, and today Ripple Custody, through our partnerships with APSA Bank, one of South Africa's leading financial institutions. And check out this photo. You see this guy right here? That's Reese Merrick. He's running things over at Ripple. And then Rob Lawson, who's the head of digital assets, said, "As we continue to innovate and respond to the evolving financial ecosystem, we recognize the importance of providing our customers with secure, compliant, and robust custody solutions for their digital assets." So they're really emphasizing the whole security and compliance angle here. So there's this guy, Reese Merrick, and I'm pretty sure he heads up Ripple's operations across Africa and the Middle East. Don't quote me on the exact title, but that's basically what he does. That's him right there in the picture. And look, I want to give you some background on what's actually going on in Africa right now because this stuff matters. Ripple also expanded partnerships with Chippercash, Valar, and Yellowcard. Chippercash is a Pan-African payments company that integrates RLUSD into its service for fast, low-cost, cross-border transactions. Valar is a leading South African exchange, adding RLUSD trading pairs to service institutional and retail clients seeking compliant USD-backed digital payment options. Oh, and by the way, Yellowcard isn't just that sick band you remember from the 90s and early 2000s. Africa's largest pan-continental crypto exchange, enabling its broader customer base access to trade and the use of RLUSD for remittances. So let me show you just how massive these things actually are. They're jumping in to help with treasury management, keeping liquidity flowing, climate finance initiatives, making sure everyone stays on the right side of regulations. I mean, the list goes on. And check this out. I've got a fresh clip to show you right here. This is 1 minute from Believe Lauren. Ripple's global co-head of policy explains why proactive engagement and education with regulators and policymakers in Washington, D.C. is essential to building smart, responsible framework for crypto innovation. Listen to this clip.
I feel good. I'm ready. I'm an athlete, so let's do this thing. Hi, I'm Lauren Belive, and this is Crypto in a Minute. It all comes down to my favorite quote from The West Wing. Decisions are made by those who show up. And in 2024, Ripple showed up. It was the Biden administration, and we were under Gary Gensler's reign of terror, where he issued over 100 different enforcement actions across the crypto industry. That is not regular order. So Ripple decided to really invest its time and energy in the political process, working tirelessly to educate bipartisan members on our technology and our work around consumer protection. We went to the DNC, we invested into the RNC, and we participated throughout the campaign cycle. And now we have the most pro-crypto Congress, as well as a pro-crypto president. We attended the inauguration along with the inaugural White House Crypto Summit. We are working with Congress as it puts pen to paper on bipartisan legislation that will define the next 100 years of our industry. And we are excited about all the potential that there is to come. Boom. How is that?
Wow, she absolutely crushed it. So if you didn't catch Brad Garlinghouse's interview at DC FinTech Week, you need to go watch it. They kept circling back to everything Ripple and XRP went through under the previous administration, and man, what a ride that was. But here's what really matters. Where are we headed? What does regulation actually look like moving forward? And how do we get people elected who actually get why digital assets matter for America? Here's the thing. Ripple and Fairshake, the pack they support, they're not just throwing money around for fun. They're trying to evolve how America thinks about digital assets. But more than that, they're amplifying our voices. Because right now, Congress and the Senate are drowning in money from special interest groups and banks. And guess who they're not thinking about? U.S. retail investors, regular people. They're focused on financial institutions, and some of the stuff they're trying to pull back with the Genius Act, it could be absolutely catastrophic for crypto. We need the Clarity Act passed. Full stop. So it was really encouraging to see Ripple pushing this forward. Seriously, go watch that interview if you haven't already. And hey, if you got something out of this, smash that like button and share it around. I'll catch you in the next one.